Okay, we should be live here. What's good, everybody? So, what's good? My name is Coach. We're gonna be building Chishiro, the Shattered Blade today. You know, we're just gonna go over this card really quickly, and then I'll tell you why I have a copy of Gahiji Honored 1 over here off to the side. Chishiro says, whenever an aura or equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you create a 2/2 red spirit creature token with menace. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each modified creature you control. So, what we're gonna do is open this deck up, and what I want to do is make a Goad tribal deck. However, if you can see white here, it's because we're actually going to make Gahiji the commander of this deck. Gahiji reads, whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents or a planeswalker your opponents control, that creature gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. There's a specific card that I know exists inside this deck that we'll get to when we get to it, and I'll mention it because I don't know the name right now. It's like this pig boar thing that forces our opponents to goad their creatures. So we're gonna just play around Goad and buffing our opponent's creatures as they attack our opponents, and then playing auras that force our opponent to not be able to block so that we can attack with our 2/2 spirits or other creatures that are buffed. Because technically a 2/2 with menace is like alright, but a 4/2 with menace I think is quite devastating. So a 4/2 with menace that's modified, so either has equipment aura attached to it or counters, so it's even bigger than a 4/2, I think could be quite wild. So that's what we're doing with this deck. The commander for this deck is actually going to be Gahiji Honored 1. So let's open up this commander. We're just going to pull out all the cards that we don't really need, and then we'll use for future decks. And then we'll just kind of go from there. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun either way. Put that off to the side. Oh, that was fast. The card I was talking about is right here. So the second card I was talking about was Kaima, the Fractured Calm. It says that at the beginning of your end step, goad each creature your opponents control that's enchanted by it or you control. Which will put a +1/+1 counter on Kaima, the Fractured Calm, for each creature goaded this way. So now we got a couple creatures here that this goads. So because that says goad, we're gonna play that card. So I think thinking that all the equipment that we find in this deck we're gonna pull, and we're gonna play other cards. Keep the auras. I don't think I really want to be focusing on equipment too much here. So we got a Rochi Merge Keeper, taps to add 1 mana. I mean, if he's modified, you know, I'm gonna leave that off to the side over here. I know we're playing Chishiro, so we're gonna leave that there. Invigorating Hot Spring. This card says, oh, this card is kind of got a white spot on it. This card says, let me move the mic over. Modified creatures you control have haste. Okay. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Invigorating Hot Spring. Put a counter on target creature you control. This enters the battlefield with 4 counters on it. So it's like Bad Riot. Or Riot. Tawashi Guidebot, draw a card for each. I could pay 1 mana to, or 4 mana to draw a card. This ability costs 1 less for each modified creature you control. I mean, this is modified, so we'll play that. Yeah, we're not gonna play this creature. This is an acidic slime, so I'm gonna leave it off to the side. Removal we'll put here. Fertilid we play. Hunter's Insight, we'll put the card draw right here. Search your library for the 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. I mean, I think we'll play that. Kodama's Reach. That's interesting. And it has Arcane. What? Kodama's Reach? What is? Yeah. Loyal Guardian. Beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I mean, I'm gonna put that on the side. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more, sacrifice this and put 2 basic lands onto the battlefield tapped. I don't think that's gonna help us goad. This is ramp. This is card draw. This is not goad. So ramping growth, we'll put ramp over there. So that's ramp, draw, removal, and then aggro. Sakurai, ooh, this is a cool looking Sakurai Tribe Elder. I'm gonna be honest, I like it. Put that by ramp. This creature. I don't know if we really want to equip that to one of our opponents, honestly, but we'll put that over by card draw. Basswood Surge. Set your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them on the battlefield tapped. Okay. Grumgully. More cards like Grumgully are probably necessary, but we'll put Grumgully over here. This is an equipment, so we don't want this. Oh, Rhythm of the Wild. Okay. I was just talking about Riot earlier, so I'll put that by aggro. Arcane Signet we don't really need because we're ramping with those spells. Soul Ring we don't want, so we're going to power this down. Swiftfoot Boots we'll put off to the side. I'll put in another commander deck. Random lands that I'll put off to the side. We want 36 lands inside this deck, so just keep that in mind. Whenever one or more modified creatures you control attack, untap all modified creatures you control. Oh, this is totally going into Wylith, actually. So I'm leaving that over there. Each player shuffles all creatures they own into their library. Each player who shuffled a non-token creature in the way into the library reveals cards from the top of the library to reveal a creature card, and then puts that card onto the battlefield, the rest of the bottom of the library in random order. This is like a board wipe. I mean, I don't want to play that in here, so I'm gonna leave that right there. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. I think that I don't want to play this card. This is another equipment. For each of up to X target creatures, create a red aura enchantment token named Smoke Blessing attached to that creature. Those creatures who have enchant creature. Wait, what? Red aura attached. Smoke Blessing to signature. Those tokens have enchant creature, and when an enchanted creature dies, it deals 1 damage to its controller, and I create. Oh yeah, we totally want this. Touchable Fury. Enchanted creature has whenever this creature attacks deals X damage to defending player, X is the number of cards in their hand. When Unquenchable Fury is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return it to your hand. So technically, this is like reusable aura on our opponents. I mean, I don't know if I'm just gonna leave that there. So if that's goated, that could do a lot, and I could replay that, which is pretty cool. That fell. This says enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter for each +1/+1 counter among other creatures you control. Nah, I don't think we want that. At the beginning of your end step, choose one or more. Draw a card if you control an enchanted creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature with a counter on it. Create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token if you control an equipped creature. I kind of want to put this in Skullbriar, so I'm going to put that off to the side. So as long as Kosei, Penitent Warlord, is enchanted, equipped, and has a counter on it, whenever it deals damage to opponent, you draw that many cards. That's interesting, but not how we want to play. Enchant creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature or another modified creature you control dies, create X 1/1 colorless spirit creature tokens where X is that creature's power. I mean, I don't know if I really want that, so we're gonna put that off to the side. This says Rampant Rejuvenator enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. When this goes away, search the library for X-Bix land cards. This is 4 mana. So this is like a slow, explosive vegetation. I kind of like this card. Not in this deck, but I like this card. Put X +1/+1 counters on each of up to X target creatures you control. Auras, equipment, and modified creatures you control gain hexproof until the end of turn. I mean, this is an interesting card. I don't know if I really need that right now. Yeah, we got a lot of cards over here that we're taking out. So this says, whenever Tanuki, Transplanter, or equipped creature attacks, add an amount of green to its power. Oh, so this is like a... whenever it attacks, don't lose its mana as steps and phases end. I mean, I suppose... and this is an artifact. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I already have that card up in my pile of cards I want to use, so I'll put that over there. Chain Reaction. I mean, I suppose we could use the removal. We'll play that Chaos Warp. I don't think we want this Elemental Mastery. Goblin Raise Runners is totally going into Krenko. Speaking of Krenko, Ox of Agonis. I don't know if we really need this Ox. So, that'll go there. Shifting Shadow, I know we don't need. Starstorm actually wins games. Torian Mauler. I don't know if we need that. A Bear Umbra? Oh, dude, this is a strong card. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has whenever this creature attacks, untap all lands you control. Don't mind if I do. Champion of Lamholt. Yeah, I think we don't need that. Forgotten Ancient might be pretty good. So we'll put that by the buffs. This is a buff. When you cast a spell, reveal the top. You know what? This is automatically going into another deck. It's just an X spell. One less for each creature your opponents control. Nah, we don't need that. Brishkar, I think we could use this. This is a cool little ramp. Brishkar's Expertise. Wow, that's a nice card. Demonic Revelation. Soul's Majesty. Wow. Spearbreaker Behemoth. Target creature with power 5 or greater gets indestructible. Oh, Whiptongue Hydra. That's cool. I mean, we'll play the Decimate. We'll play that Whiptongue Hydra. Ulash. I don't want. Black Blade. No thank you. Bonehorde. No thank you. Sword of Vengeance. No thank you. So now we're left with an upside down forest. And all the lands. And then tokens. Okay, so we'll put all these over here. So let me just count all these lands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. What? What's that backwards card? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So that's all we need. So we're saying goodbye to that forest. Okay, so wow, we took out a lot of cards here. I mean, there's good equipment inside here, I want to say. There's also some pretty decent creatures. I just think that with how I want to play this, these cards are not necessarily going to help me do what I'm trying to do. So we're just going to leave that over there off to the side. And we need a lot more auras that we can attach on our opponent's creatures, which in turn is going to make sure that we up the amount of removal that we have. This deck is not going to be strong, so we're going to force it to be strong by just having a lot of removal, which basically means we can attack with our creatures consistently. And we have a lot of ways to goad, so I'm going to grab those cards first, the removal first, and then we'll kind of make decisions. Put that there. Goad. Goad. Just another goad card. It's kind of is like passive goad. These two are kind of like passive goad. This one, I don't know if I want to play that one. Put that over there. This one we'll play. This is another haste enabler. This is an aura that I can cast from my graveyard that gives haste. This is kind of like card draw, so I'm gonna leave that over there. This creature gives all of our opponent's creatures and my creatures haste, only if they attack my opponent, so it's kind of like goad. Pulverize. I like this retreat to Kenzundu. Kind of like modified, that's like a buff. Ramp. Ramp. I think you need enchantment, like auras inside this deck. That's the only way we should really be like doing these things. Alright, so let me see something. So now we got all of these. So we're gonna end up putting in this Orzhov Advocus that says, beginning of your upkeep, each player may put 2++ encounters on a creature they control. If they do not, that player can't attack you or a planeswalker you control until your next turn. Great. So we buffed them by 2, and then with Gahiji they get buffed 2 by 2 again, because he gives +2/+0 until the end of turn, which I'm cool with. So we'll play that. Shiny Impetus forces, it's just straight up goad. This says that this is Curse of Opulence. This will create a treasure token if they attack a specific opponent. This is basically the red version of the white card I was talking about earlier. Another goad. Land enters the battlefield, goad. Alright, speaking of the bread and butter for this deck. So we got the Intercessor's Arrest for 3 mana. You enchant a permanent and they can't attack or block. Mind you, with Chishiro in play, this card reads, enchant a permanent, can't attack or block. Its activated abilities can't be activated. And then this reads, create a 2/2 red spirit with menace when you cast this. So, kind of creates us a creature and reduces our opponent's ability to block. So that's 1. That's 2. All these basically do the same thing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll play all those. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't know if those necessarily belong in that pile. Goad, goad, goad. Goad, 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 goad. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 removal spells. How many goad things? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I can deal with that. We got careful cultivation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We could probably use a lot more enchantment ramp, but we're just gonna leave that at that for now. We have Venetian Wanderer for card draw. This card reads, whenever enchantment enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Reveal a land from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. I would not mind that at all. So this is kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, would like this to be at 10, but I think for now it wouldn't be that bad. So we got 36 lands. I'm just gonna do a quick counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A lot of haste there. This was 14. Oh wait, I don't even know. 7 and then 10, so that's 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, Gahiji. 51 plus 36. 51 plus 36 is 87, so I need to play 13 more cards. Alright. So what we're gonna do right now is we're just gonna sort the cards so that they are essentially... Okay, so we got Farseek over here, Cultivation over here. Well, let me just move this down so it's no glare. Okay, so we're gonna leave these off to the side. Arrow, Scar, Surge, Soccer, Trivelder, Thomas Reach, Fertilage, Rapid Growth. I need more ramp. Impetus, Advocist, 1 drop. This is a 6 drop. Martial Impetus, Agitated Ant, Chishiro. I like that. Ima. Bound in gold. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I really have enough to make this deck function extremely well. But I know one day it'll be something that's respectable at some point. Once I get all the kinks out and just find the right amount of each type of card, and then it'll be respectable. That's all you can really ask for. We We got a lot of 3-drops here. You know, and it tends to be good to run a ton of 3-drops. Oh my. We have a lot of 3-drops. Here's another 5. Here's 6. Here's another 3-drop. It's gonna fall. And then another 3-drop. So, Lord knows we have a lot of 3-drops. And we still need 11 more cards. So, no more 3-drops. That's the rule. Here's the 3-drop that I wanted to play. We'll play this dude because I know he taps and he makes 1 mana and everybody takes damage. Nayith is a 4-drop, and this is a pretty good card, so we'll play Nayith. That's a 3-drop. This 4-drop gives all of my creatures trample. Whatever. This 1-drop forces an opponent's attacking creature on the bottom of the library. So if they do decide to attack me, we'll play this Pulverize because it says destroy all artifacts. And we removed all of the equipment, so it doesn't really matter. This McKindy Horn, I think if a creature doesn't attack, this gets a counter on it, and then if it gets a counter, then they take damage for each card in their hand, or however many counters are on this, or something. Something like that. That's a land. We'll leave that land over here. This is another card draw spell, so okay. We'll put that. A 2-drop aura, and then this is a 3-drop. I don't really want any more 3-drops. So we're not playing any of these cards. I might be able to play this Bond of Discipline that just... This could just take somebody out of the game, I think. If I tap down an opponent, all their creatures, and then everybody just attacks them. I think that sounds like a... impactful play. So if I look at this right now, I have no idea how many cards I just added, so we're just gonna count again really quickly. Excuse me. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So we need 4 more cards. 4 more cards. I mean, let me see if I have anything here. We got that Taurian Mauler, but I don't even think that... Wait a minute. This says enchant creature has haste, and at the beginning of your upkeep, destroy this creature. Reveal cards on top of your library to reveal a creature card. What happens if I play a Shifting Shadow on my opponent's creatures? That's the question right now. Because if I could play this on my opponent's creature... If I play this on my opponent's creature and I have Kaima in play, that means that they have Goad. And I could also play this on my creatures. I don't know. If I'm thinking about it too much, I think that's a no. We're gonna play that Fierce Retribution. So that I need 3 more cards. I mean, we'll play the Ordeal of Nylea because why not? When we'll play this Orochi 1, 2, and then this Charioteer we'll play because it gives our creatures trample. Okay, so I think we have our commander deck. So what we're gonna do right now is just play test this and then see how well it does. But I'm not gonna sleeve this first because I don't feel like sitting here for 30 years sleeving this. Let me just shuffle this really quickly. Go from there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the apparently the new Street Fighter game is going to be announced today. So I'm over here kind of just going back and forth between the streams. Looking forward to seeing the Street Fighter 6. Be exciting to watch. There we go. Does the song have lyrics on it? Alright, let me just shuffle this well and we'll go from there. I think this deck needs more auras. I could take out a lot of the ramp and just add aura based ramp that taps for all manas of all different colors of mana. I think that would be pretty good. Should make the deck a bit more consistent, you know? In my mind, at least. Alright. So we just shuffled pretty well here. We're gonna put that there. We're gonna go back to that first song. That first song was fire. Alright, so what we're gonna do right now is this is actually Chishiro, the Shattered Blade, the Precon. We're building a Goad version and we're actually making Gahiji the commander of that Precon deck. Just because it allows us to play white. But this is essentially that Precon, so we're gonna play test this right now and we're gonna see how well this does. This is a goading type deck, so I could have played the cat commander that literally goads your creature, your opponent's creatures, but I like the attack buff that you get from Gahiji. So we'll see how that works out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got, okay, we got ramp, we have kind of like card draw, we have ramp right here because this taps for mana, and then a way to buff our creatures. So we'll definitely, and a way to Goad. So this is actually a perfect opening hand. So we'll play this. We'll draw. Kaima. Okay, we're off to a good start here. So we're just gonna get down this forest and then pass the turn. You know what? I never added any planes. I just realized that right now. There are no planes inside this deck. You know what? We're just gonna pretend that this forest right here is a plains. And I'm just gonna go ahead and grab these lands right. I'm just gonna grab some lands and I'll just grab plains as we go. I'm gonna take out that forest. Alright, so now I got a plains. Whenever I need a plains, I'm just gonna grab it. So we do that, we'll pass the turn. Okay, it comes back to our turn, we'll draw, I find a forest, cool. I gotta get down this mountain, and then I'm gonna tap 2. And we're gonna play this dude that taps for green mana. And everybody takes damage when he's tapped. I'm gonna say go. We'll untap. We'll draw into a rampant growth. So I'm actually gonna get down this well, I have 3 mana right now, technically. So what we can do is I could potentially draw and rampant growth this turn. So we'll get down the plains. We'll tap no, I need that mountain. So we're gonna tap this and this. So green, white, and I'll cast a rampant growth. Search my library for a no, just to get it out of the way. I'm actually gonna just take out a mountain. Then I'm gonna go grab a plains. Put that onto the battlefield tapped. Then I'm gonna tap 2. And I'm gonna cast this Thrill of Possibility. I'm gonna discard this forest, and I'm gonna draw 2 cards. So 1, 2, and then I'll pass. Okay, I'll untap, draw. Okay. Lyrics. Hold up. Let's actually go back to this. And then we'll do that right there. Just get the music situated. Alright, we good. So we got this over here. I got the Orochi Merge Keeper now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and tap this dude. Everybody takes 1 damage. Tap this, I'll get down the Orochi. And then let's say our opponent has a scary creature. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna tap 3, and I'm gonna cast some Martial Impetus on that creature. So it gets +1/+1 and it's goaded. And then when it attacks one of my opponents, it gets +1/+1 to the end of turn. Each other creature that's attacking one of your opponents gets +1/+1. Well, it's actually pretty cool. So that happens. So our opponent's creature is goaded. Alright, turn 4 goad. That's cool. So we'll untap. We'll draw a command tower. We'll play that. And right now, I'm looking at my hand. You know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We could get down Kaima. But I don't know if that really matters. I mean, I could play Kaima and then Skyblade Boon an opponent's a creature my opponent's control. So yeah, let's do that just for fun. We'll go 1, 2, into 3, 4. So everybody takes 1. I play Kaima. Then I'm gonna tap 2 right here, and I'm gonna play a boon on my opponent's creature. So this gives it +1/+1 in flying, and then if this is in the graveyard, I can pay 3 mana to put it back into my hand, and then I'll pass the turn there. Opponent's creatures are tapped and attacking. Good, now they're doing their thing. Now I'll untap. I'll draw, decimate. I mean, it's not too bad of a draw here, honestly. But I think what we can do here is our opponent's creatures technically should be tapped, because wait a minute, that's enchanted, but a +1/+1. Wait a minute. Go to creature. So technically, Kaima needs to have 2 +1/+1 counters. So Kaima's a 5/5 right now. So what I'm gonna do is, let's say our opponent has no way to block because they're goaded. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna get down Gahiji. You know, I'm looking at this Grumgully, and I think his Grumgully needs to go, if I'm being honest. We're gonna get down Gahiji. And you know, I think I'm actually gonna tap this way. Need that. Yeah, I'll play like this. So now we go to combat, and we'll attack with Kaima for 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and then 6, 7 with Gahiji, and then we pass the turn. So we'll do our thing. Whatever's happening is happening. Let's say our opponents attack again. We do the thing. It's our turn. We'll untap. We'll draw. Rishkar's Expertise. Literally exactly what I needed. Oof, this is gonna be a bomb play. We're gonna tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll play the Rishkar's Expertise. We'll draw cards equal, because Kaima has... This is until the end of turn, so... Actually, we're gonna wait, because we're gonna go to combat. Kaima is 5/5, 2 more counters, 7/7. We'll go to combat. Kaima's a 9/7, so we deal 9 damage to somebody with Kaima. And then now we'll tap and we'll cast the Rishkar's Expertise. So draw cards equals the greatest power among creatures you control, which is 9. We'll draw 9 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should play the Return of the Wild Speaker inside this deck, honestly. And then I get to play a spell with mana value 5 or less, which is great. So, ooh, this is a pretty good hand, being honest. So let's say our opponents played a, I could get down Nayeth, but just in case of board wipe, I'd rather not play that. I think I'd rather get down the Decimate here, just to, yeah, we'll decimate our opponent's creatures or whatever, and then we'll pass the turn. Somebody casts a board wipe, we'll say, and we lose all our creatures. Everything goes away. It would be cool to get Kaima back, so I probably should play some spells that say return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Maybe instead of playing like just straight up card draw, I didn't play a land for that turn, by the way. Maybe instead of playing straight up card draw, we play card draw, and we'll also use like recursion as a way, as a form of card advantage in a sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think I'll take out 3. 1, 2, and this Grumgully I really don't like, so I think the Grumgully is actually gonna go. So we'll untap. We'll draw Fires of Yavimaya. Get down this Moss Fire Valley. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So this is what we're gonna do. After that board wipe, we're gonna go ahead and pay 3 mana. We're gonna play a Fires of Yavimaya. And then I tapped incorrectly. So we're gonna do that. And I still tapped wrong. So we're gonna do that. Then I'm gonna tap 4. And then we get down Nayeth. And now that Nayeth is in play, Nayeth should have haste because of the Fires of Yavimaya. And then what we're gonna do is attack with Nayeth. And then we'll pass the turn, so. Okay, and then they go to our turn. We'll untap. Okay, we'll draw. Got a forest. Okay, we'll play the forest. What we're actually gonna do here is, yeah, I really need a way to get stuff out of my graveyard. I really would like that Kaima back right now. Because technically, I could play this, and then that could start buffing Kaima all over again. But whatever. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I play Gahiji right now, I'll be left with 1 mana. I just don't think Gahiji is really that important in this point in time. I kind of can just play around Nayeth. I think drawing cards right now is going to be important. So let's actually go 3. We'll play the Sigarda's Imprisonment so our opponent's creature can't attack our block, which means that we can now attack with Nayeth. So I'm going to freely pay 3 mana, and I'm gonna cast a. Actually, I'm just gonna go to combat. I'm attack with Nayeth, and then what I'll do is pay 3 to cast a Hunter's Insight to draw 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3, and I drew Nahiri's Binding, which is basically another Sigarda's Imprisonment, a Forest, and an Nestian Wanderer. I think what we're gonna do right now is. I don't have any. I do have an enchantment in hand, actually. Did I play a forest this turn? I don't even know. We're just gonna get down to creature. I'm gonna tap 2 right now. I'm gonna get down this Nessian Wanderer. And then I'm gonna pass the turn. Right, we shouldn't be able to be attacked because of Sigarda's Imprisonment. We will untap, draw. Got a Kodama's Reach. We'll play our land. You know, I wish this was an aura, because if this was an aura right now, I would just enchant a land and then I could search for a land card and it would be cool. But one day. So looking at all this stuff right now, I'm gonna get down this can I buff any of my creatures? The only way I can buff a creature right now is via Gahiji. How many lands I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So technically I can play Gahiji and ramp this turn. And then play an enchantment the next turn to search for a land so that I may hit my land drop that next turn. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait a minute. That's my mana. We're gonna play Gahiji. Then we'll tap 2 and we'll play a Farseek. And we'll search for a mountain. We'll play that mountain. Then I'll hit my microphone. And then we'll shuffle. And then this will go here. And then we'll go to combat. I'll attack with Nayeth and then the Nestian Wanderer. So this is gonna get +2, so that's a 5/3, and this is +2, so this is a 3/3. That's 8 damage. Then we'll pass the turn. I have a 4/4 blocker. Say I take damage, whatever. I'll untap. Okay, I'll draw Bond of Discipline. So we're gonna get down the let's say a white, red. We'll play Nahiri's Binding. That's gonna trigger Nessian Wanderer. So I'm gonna look the top 3 cards in my library. I'm gonna grab this mountain, put that into my hand. The rest go on the bottom of my library. Play the land, and then what I can just do here is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I could have attacked with the Gahiji last turn because it has haste. Just realized that. And now let's say that somebody can't attack. I play Bond of Discipline, which is going to tap down all creatures my opponents control. All my creatures gain lifelink. And what I'm going to do is actually sack the Fires of Yavimaya to give Gahiji +2/+2. And then I'm going to tap 3. And I'm gonna give him I'm gonna double his power with Nayeth. And there's nobody to block him, so I can't target someone to... The creature must be blocked this combat if able. Well, he's not able to be blocked because of these cards. And then I'll go to combat. And then I'll attack, so that's 6, that's 12, and then +2, so that's 14. +7, 17, and then this is 20 damage. And then let's say that's GG. So then that's basically the way this deck is gonna work. So I would have thought it would have been cool to get the opportunity to play Chishiro in this. But I think that Chishiro's cool. But I think that the addition of white and making this Naya deck instead just gives me the ability to control the game more, as opposed to just playing aggressively and playing aggro. Because with the inclusion of white, I can just stop my opponent from being able to block and attack, and then suddenly, if Chishiro's in play, he becomes much more of a devastating creature. I think that the only thing this deck is really missing is maybe a little bit more card draw, maybe some equipment that draws cards, and then some way to, or enchantments that draw cards, and then maybe some ways that I can return permanents from the graveyard to my hand for cheap that I can just recast again. Whether it's a creature or an enchantment that I want to get out of the graveyard. Maybe a Sun Titan would be pretty good. That way I can just kind of reuse my removal over and over again and just kind of play around that. And I don't have too many 6-drops anyway, so I think Sun Titan would be a pretty good inclusion inside here. But at some point in the future, I'm going to have this deck completely built. But at least we have an idea for what this deck is going to be. So that's how I chose to build Chishiro. If you choose to build Chishiro in your own kind of way, you can leave it in the comment section below. Remember, when you comment, you enter for a chance to enter this week's giveaway. And this week's giveaway is a copy of... I actually put that right here in this camera. It's a copy of Zur the Enchanter. So just keep that in mind. So if you comment, you can win this card. And then we'll go from there. Alright, so that's basically going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, be on the lookout for more like this. And when I'm a better YouTuber, I'll definitely let everyone know the times I go live so that people can prepare and we all can just kind of chill, and you guys can honestly help me build these Magic the Gathering decks too, so I can make these things just a little bit better. All right, so hope you guys have a good day. Thank you for watching this. All right, peace.